Hello everyone, welcome to my class. In this class, we are going to discuss a concept known as a pseudo first order reaction. In the earlier classes, we know what is a first order reaction, what is a zero order, and what is a second order, and so on. But what is a pseudo first order reaction? Pseudo means false. That means it's a first order reaction, but it is not truly first order reaction. No confusion if you try to understand. Some reactions, if you see, the molecularity may be 2 or more, but they behave kinetically, they follow the first order reaction kinetics. That means their molecularity may be 2 or more, but they follow the first order kinetics. That means they behave like first order reactions. Such reactions are called as pseudo first order reactions. So here the reactions in which the molecularity is 2 or more but its order is first order. It follows first order kinetics. That means its order is 1 but molecularity is 2 or more. Originally these are of higher order, but because of the reaction conditions they will behave like first order. Please remember that pseudo first order reactions are originally they are of higher order. Higher order means more than 1, but because of the reaction conditions they behave and follow first order kinetics. That means they are a pseudo first order reaction. To understand this, let us take the example of hydrolysis of ester. You know, this is ethyl acetate ester that will be hydrolyzed in the presence of a mineral acid like H+, H2SO4HCl. What we get here, carboxylic acid and alcohol is obtained. If you see this reaction here, the molecularity is 2, theoretical value, but actually its order of the reaction is found to be 1. If you see the rate expression for it, what the rate is equals to K into CH3COO C2H5 power 1. It will not depend on the concentration of water here. So molecularity is 2, but here it is following the first order kinetics here, rate experimentally determined, proved. So that such reactions are called as a pseudo first order reaction. But I told you why it is behaving like a first order reaction. Why there is no term of water in that? For that, the reason is the reaction conditions. What is that reaction condition? Actually, to carry this reaction, we need to take water in large excess. That means if you compare the ester's concentration and water's concentration, to carry this reaction forward, we need to take very high quantities of water, high concentration of water when compared with the ester. Large quantity of water is required when compared to ester. As we are taking here in the reaction, 1 mole of this ester will react with 1 mole of water. But here, several hundreds of moles of additional water moles are left here because ester is taken very small compared with water. So ester will be completely reacting and water's concentration will be almost left unreacted, remains constant. To understand this, let us consider an example. For example, I have taken 0.01 moles per liter of ester. I told you that water has to be taken large excess. Let us take 10 moles per liter of water. To carry this reaction, it is essential. It is at the beginning when T is equals to 0. After T time of the reaction, it completely reacts. You know that 1 mole reacts with 1 mole of water. Here 0.01 moles of ester reacts with 0.01 moles of water. So what will happen as a result? Here the concentration will become 0. Now here it is 10 moles per liter initially. But what was reacted? 0.01 moles was reacted. So what is the remaining concentration here? 10 minus 0.01. It is nothing but 9.99 moles per liter. If you see here, the concentration of the water remained almost constant. See here, only the rate will be influenced by the concentration of ester. So as we have taken the large excess quantity of water, its concentration almost remained constant. So if you write the rate expression initially, rate is equals to K dash into ester's concentration power 1 COO C2H5 power 1 and H2O power 1, but K dash is a constant, and here during this reaction there is almost no change in the concentration of the water, so that it is also a constant here, unchanged. So K dash is a constant and H2O power 1 is a constant. So what we will get, rate is equals to K into CH3 COO C2 H5 power 1. Here K is equals to K dash into water. So this is the rate expression experimentally derived, so that it is behaving like a first order reaction. That means it's kinetically it is a first order reaction, as here the water's concentration is not influencing the rate. Rate is depending on the concentration of the ester here. So such reactions are called as pseudo first order reaction. A pseudo first order reaction will have a molecularity 2 or more, and it follows the first order kinetics. So you can take some other examples also. Even the hydrolysis of sugarcane, that is nothing but inversion of sugarcane. Sugarcane means it is sucrose C12H22O11. On hydrolysis, it will give us the glucose and fructose. So here glucose and fructose will have same molecular formula because they are functional isomers. So in this reaction also, here we need to take large excess of water, so that here also the order is found to be depending on only, the rate is depending on only cane sugar. So such reactions are called as pseudo first order reactions. These can be even considered as a pseudo unimolecular reactions. Pseudo unimolecular reaction means that has a molecularity 2 or more, but the order of the reaction is first order. Actually originally these are of higher order, that means order is more than 1, but because of the reaction condition, that is the excess of water is taken here. Not only this, any other condition that causes there is a relation between only ester and the rate. Rate is related to ester here, and the rate is related only to the sugarcane, and it is not affected by water. Water's concentration remains unchanged. These are pseudo first order reactions. So today we have learnt pseudo first order reactions. Pseudo means the word already I told you that it is false. Because of the reaction conditions, they are behaving like first order reactions. Now what we are going to do is, in the earlier classes I told you that rate of a reaction, order of a reaction is an experimentally determined, because rate law is experimentally derived. From that rate law we are finding the order, so that order is depending on rate law. Rate law is depending on the experimental values, so that means order is directly experimental dependent. So that order can be found by the experimental data. From the experimental data we will get the rate law. From the rate law, by adding the powers of the concentration terms, we will get the order. There are many methods to find the order and its determination. I am saying here how the order is determined. There are many methods. You can use graphical methods, or you can use a trial method, but here what we are going to discuss, one method, the method is nothing but initial rate method. So I told you that order is an experimental value and we find it by initial rate method. So what is an initial rate method? To understand this, I have taken an equation. I have taken A plus B is giving rise to products. So if you write the rate expression for it, rate is equals to K into A power X and B power Y, because X and Y are not known to us. Those are to be determined experimentally. But order is X plus Y. If you know X and Y, by adding them you will get the order. But how to find that X and Y? So for this we'll follow the initial rate method. It is only one of the methods to determine the rate. In this method, for example, here what are there here, A is there and B is there. So A's concentration will write here and B concentration is written here and rate we will write here. What we will do, first we will double the concentration of any one of the reactants, keeping the others concentration constant. For example, I won't change the concentration of A. I will double the concentration of B and I will find the rate. Next step what I will do, I will keep the B's concentration constant and I will double the concentration of A. Then I will find the rate. One time I am keeping one of the concentrations as constant and the other I am doubling and I am finding the rate. Next step I am keeping the other one's concentration as the constant and remaining one's concentration I am doubling. One time one's concentration is doubled, other reactant's concentration is kept constant. Next time the other's concentration is doubled and the first one is kept constant. Let me explain here. So after doing this we can determine the rate constant. I will show how it is. For example, here at the beginning let us assume that there are, for example, I have taken some 2.2 moles per liter of A and we have some 0.3 moles per liter of B. Now let us assume that 1.2 into some 10 power minus 2 moles per liter is the rate of the reaction. Now what I told you, I will double the concentration of A. So only I am doubling the concentration of A, I am not changing the others. So what will happen if I double the concentration, what will happen? It will become 0.4. But I have kept the concentration of B constant. But experimentally the rate will be calculated. So experimentally what is obtained, it was found that 2.4 into 10 power minus 2. This value is also experimentally determined value. Experiment means at different intervals we will find the rate. So first what I did, just I had kept the concentration of B constant and I have doubled the concentration of A and I found that this is the rate. It may not be some other value also, but here I am saying that imagine that it is doubled. In the next step what I will do, I will keep A's concentration as constant, so 0.4, and I will double the concentration of B. What it will become? 0.6. Now the concentration, for example, observed is 4.8 into 10 power minus 2. Some value we will get. So what I did here, the B's concentration is kept constant and A concentration is doubled and we have calculated the rate. Next time we have kept the concentration of A constant and B's concentration is doubled and we have found the concentration of rate of reaction. Now here only B is doubled in the step. Now here rate we assume it as R1. So this is R1. Rate here is taken as R2 and this is R3. Now how to find the order? First I will take 2 and 3. This is, let it be 1 and this is 2 and this is 3. First I will divide 2 by 1. What is 2? R2 by R1. R2 by R1 is equals to, what is R2 value here? So what is the rate expression? Rate is equals to K into A power X into B power X. A means A's concentration, B means B concentration. So R2 means this is R2, K into A concentration power X. What is the concentration of A here? 0.4 whole power X into B power Y. What is B's concentration here? 0.3 whole power Y divided by R1. What is the rate expression for R1? R1 rate R1 is equals to K into A power 0.2 whole power X, B power Y, that is 0.3 power Y. So it is K into A power X 0.2 whole power X and it is 0.3 whole power Y. This is R1 by R2. Now let us go for the simplification here in the next step. Look here, R2 value we know. What is the value of R2? 2.4 into 10 power minus 2 divided by, what is R1 value? 1.2 into 10 power minus 2. What is cancelled here? We can cancel K goes with K and 0.3 whole power y, 0.3 whole power y is also cancelled. What is left here? 0.4 divided by 0.2 whole power x. 0.4 divided by 0.2 whole power x. It is 0.21s and 0.22s. Here also 1.21s and 1.22s. 10 power minus 2 goes here. So what is left here? 2 is left here on the left hand side. What is left here? 2 power x is left here. So now the bases are equal, so that exponents are also equal. That means x is equals to 1. So we have found the value of x by dividing equation 2 with 1. We have found the value of x. In the similar way, we can also find the value of y. If x and y are the powers, if we add, we get the order. Please remember that here our aim is to make the bases equal. In this y we have doubled, this one is nothing but here to get the expression into the base 2. When bases are equal, we can compare the powers and we can equalize. Now in the next step what we'll do, we'll divide this equation 3 with 2. That means R3 by R2 will do now. R3 divided by R2. What is R3? R3 rate expression already I told you. R3 is equals to k into a power x into b power y. So for R3a is 0.4 x into, it is the 0.6 y. This is R3. The same way for R3. For R2, what is it? K into a power x. What is a power x? 0.4 whole power x into, it is 0.3 whole power y. Now here what is cancelled? K cancels, 0.4 power x whole power x cancels here. So but R3 value we know already. What is R3 value? 4.8 into 10 power minus 2 divided by R2 value is what it is? 2.4 into 10 power minus 2. Just we are dividing the equations. That is equals to, what is here? 0.6 by 0.3. 0.6 divided by 0.3 whole power y. Now what we are going to get? 2.41s, 2.42s. 10 power minus 2, 10 power minus 2 gets cancelled. That means here also 2 power 1 is equals to, this is a 0.3 ones and again 2's here. So it will become 2 power y. So what is the y value here? 1. Now we got x value and y value. So now what is the order? So already we have written the order here. What is the formula for order? Final step here. K is equals to a power x into, R is equals to k into a power x into b power y. So k into, what is a power x value is 1. So it is a power 1 into b power 1. So order is nothing but the sum of the powers. That is equals to 1 plus 1, 2. So here it is a second order. Overall reaction order is second. Maybe sometimes, for example, here if you get 3, y will become 3, x is 1. 1 plus 3, fourth order. For example, sometimes here 2 power 0, y will become 0 then. X is 1 and y is 0. Or here, sometimes here we get 2 power 2, then x is 2. Here y may be 0. So 2 plus 0, second order. So x, based on x and y value, the order will be changing. Don't think that x and y is always 1. The x and y values will be the outputs of this calculation. But this data is experimental. So what we do, we keep the concentration of one of the reactants constant and double the other's concentration and find the rate. Again the same thing we do in the reverse way, and on final calculation we will get the order. So this is the determination of order by initial rate method. So today we could understand what is meant by a pseudo first order reaction, and also we had learned how to calculate or how to find the order of any chemical reaction. There are several other methods also. For example, you can use graphical method also. You know the nature of the graphs for first order and second order. So based on the graph, you can say which order it is belonging to. If it gives a straight line in the zero order graph, it is a zero order reaction. If the graph is straight line in a first order, it belongs to first order. That is also trial method. We have to substitute the values and find the graph. So let us move to some numericals based on the discussion held today. This is from the textbook. So the problem number 3.20 we have a first order reaction has a rate constant. Rate constant for a first order reaction is 1.15 into 10 power minus 3 second inverse. So first order reaction is given, its rate constant is given. How long will 5 grams of the reactant take to reduce to 3 grams? So initially the reactant is 5 gram and it is reduced to 3 gram. Now what is the time required for that conversion from 5 grams to 3 grams? Initial concentration you can take as 5 grams. Final concentration you can take as 3 grams. So what is the time required? So it is a first order reaction. So what is given here, you can take that initial concentration as 5 and concentration after t interval time is as 3 grams here. So now what is the first order rate equation? K is equals to 2.303 by t into logarithm of R0 by R. This is the first order reaction. But here what is given here? K value they have given. So I will take this t to left side, 2.303 by, if I send k here it will become by k, but k value is 1.15 into 10 power minus 3 into logarithm of R naught by R. Logarithm of R naught value is what? Here 5 by 3. You can cancel here, 3 ones 3, nearly 1.66. So on substitution t is equals, time required is equals to 2.303 divided by 1.15 into, I will take this 10 power minus 3 to numerator, it will become 10 power plus 3 into log 1.66. Through logarithm table you can find it, 0.2219. So this is the, on simplification, just on cancellation, what we will get? The value 4.38 seconds, or you can say it as nearly 444 seconds, that is 444 seconds. So this is the time required to decrease the concentration from 5 grams to 3 grams for the given first order reaction. Just direct substitution in the formula. Now let us do one more problem based on the orders of the reactions. So here just simply, if you know the formula, a direct substitution will give the answer. Next problem is 3.21. The problem number 3.21 from the textbook. Time required to decompose SO2Cl2 to half of the initial concentration, initial amount is 60 minutes. That means T of is given here, indirect. Time required for reducing the concentration to the half of the initial amount. What is the time that we call it as? The time required to bring down the reactant concentration to half of the initial concentration is known as T half. So T half is given here. Its decomposition is a first order reaction. The SO2Cl2 decomposition is a first order reaction. That means order is given here. Calculate the rate constant of the reaction. We have to calculate the K value. So here K is to be calculated. Here also direct problem. So this is a first order. So what is the formula for T half? T half is equals to 0.693 by K. This is the formula. Then K is equals to 0.693 by T half, that is equals to 60. You can make it as 0.693. Just you can remove the point here, it will become 10 power minus 3 by 60. Or you can change it like a 693 by 6 into, I will take this 10, 6 into 10. So if it goes to the numerator, it will become 10 power minus 4. So this 10, if it goes to number, now it is, the cancellation will be easy. 6 ones are 6, 6 11s are 66 here. So 5 is left here. So 6 5s are 30 and again 0.5. But here 4 digits are there, so that it will become 0.01155. So this is time in minutes, so that K. So what are the units of K? Minute inverse is the units for K. So what is the answer? Final answer, it is 0.0 1155 minute inverse. So this is the final answer. So simply the substitution here and simplification. So we have done some problems based on the order. Let us discuss the objective questions based on the concept we have learnt in the last class and in this class. Let us move to the MCQs. So only pseudo first order concept and calculation determination of order is learnt, and we have also done some problems based on the first order. Now let us go to the MCQs. First multiple choice question is a continuation to the previous class. Under given set of conditions, experimental conditions, if we increase in the concentration of the reactants, the rate of chemical reaction. So what is given here? If we increase the if we increase the concentration of the reactants, the rate of reaction will be depending on the certain conditions like concentration of the reactants, temperature, catalyst, nature of the reactants. Catalyst increases the rate of reaction. If you increase the reactant concentration, rate will be increased. Please remember that the rate of a reaction will be changing throughout the reaction. Initially it was high and it will slow down. But rate, order of that reaction remains constant. If you change the reaction conditions, then the order will be changed. So now rate constant will be depending on the temperature, but at a given temperature K value, rate constant value is constant. But rate depends on the nature of the reactants. For example, ionic compounds react very faster than covalent compounds. Catalyst increases the rate of reaction. So likewise here, if you increase the concentration, rate is also increased. Rate is directly proportional to the concentration of the reactants. So if you increase the concentration of the reactant, it also increased. So what is the correct option? Increases. First option itself. The rate will be increased when you increase the concentration. So first option will be the correct option. Let us move to the next MCQ. If the reaction involving gaseous reactants and gaseous products, then the units of rate are. So here only gases are taken. What are the units of rate? What are the units for rate? Concentration by time, moles per liter per second or per time we are taken. But here concentration is not taken. For gas we use pressure. For example, let it be atmospheres. So that in place of concentration we are taking pressure. That is atmospheres into second inverse or time inverse. Atmospheres, second inverse are the units when time is taken in second. These are the units when gaseous phase is taken. So here the right option is the third option, atmospheres into second inverse. Let us move to the next objective question. In the sequence reaction, here a sequence reaction is given. A is giving rise to B, is giving rise to C, is giving rise to D, and their velocity constant, that are rate constant K1, K2 and K3. This is a sequential reaction. In the sequential reaction, this is the reaction. If K1 is greater than K2 is greater than K3, then the rate determining step of the reaction. So what is meant by rate determining step? The slowest step is called as a rate determining step. In a complex reaction, there are many steps. In that one step will be slowest of all. That is called as a rate determining step. So we have to find here, we have three steps, A to B, B to C and C to D. Which step is the rate determining step? The slowest step. How to find the slowest step? Based on the K values. Smaller the K value, slower will be the rate of reaction. Slowest step. So here K3 is the smallest, so that the rate determining step will be C, giving rise to D. So what is the right option here? Option C is the right option. C is giving rise to is the slowest step because its K value is very small given. So let us go to the next multiple choice question. For a first order reaction, if the initial concentration of the reactant and if A is the initial concentration of the reactant, then half life. So first order reaction is given, and initial concentration is given as A. Look here, in some problems in place of R0 we will use A also. So in place of R we use A minus X. A minus A means initial concentration, X is the amount reacted. So R0 is equals to A and R is equals to A minus X. Even in the formula we can use. So what is given here now? The half-life time. So here it is a first order reaction. This is the initial concentration. Now what is the relation between half-life and initial concentration? We all know that in a zero order, the concentration of the reactants, the order of the half-life of the zero order reaction is directly proportional to the initial concentration. Half-life is directly proportional to the initial concentration in a zero order. It's a first order, so that it is independent on the concentration of the reactant A. Initial concentration will not affect the half-life. So what is the correct option? First option itself. That half-life is independent. First option is independent on the concentration, initial concentration A. So independent. Let us go to the next question. Radioactive decay follows which order kinetics? Already I told you that all the radioactive decay follows a which order? First order. Radioactive decay, always it is a first order reaction. What is the order? First order reaction. Radioactive disintegration is a first order kinetics, or it follows a first order kinetics. Here 0 is the first option, second one is 1, third one is 2, and fourth one is 3. So what is the correct option? 1 is the correct option. Now let us move to the next multiple choice question. That is question number 16. Zero order reaction, in a zero order reaction graph, the graph is taken by plotting R on y-axis and T on x-axis. We already know it. So it is what is the order here? Zero order reaction. What is given in the question? They have plotted a graph taking R on the y-axis and T on x-axis. We know how a zero order graph is plotted. What is a zero order reaction? K value, K is equals to R0 minus R divided by T. This is the zero order reaction. Or you can simplify it like what is the value that finally what we get? So R is equals to minus KT plus R0. Just I am transposing these terms, K into T, KT, and this is R0 and this is minus R. If we take this step, it will become R is equals to minus KT plus R0. Here it is looking like y is equals to mx plus c and the slope is equals to minus k, and intercept on y-axis is equals to R0. This is the nature of the graph already we have learned. So it intersects the y-axis at R0 distance. Now the question is, in that graph, the slope is, what is the slope value here? Slope is equals to, look here, m, that is equals to minus k. The slope value is equals to minus k. I will read the options. Minus k, 1 by k, k by 2.303. The right option is minus k, because directly from the graph you can determine that value. Now let us go for the other question. For the chemical reaction, here some chemical reaction is given, that is H2 plus Br2 is giving rise to 2HBr. Its rate expression is given by, here rate expression is given, K rate is equals to K into H2 concentration power 1 and B power 1 by 2. Then the molecularity and order of this reaction is. So molecularity and order we have to say. What is the molecularity? 1 plus 1, that is 2. So molecularity, first molecularity here. Molecularity is equals to 2. What is the order here? Overall order. With respect to hydrogen, the order is 1. With respect to bromine, here it is Br2. Bromine, it is 1 by 2. What is the total overall order? 1 plus 1 by 2. It is nothing but 3 by 2. So molecularity is 2 and order is 3 by 2. So what is the right option? So second option, 2 and 3 by 2. Molecularity is 2 and order is 3 by 2. Now let us move to the next question. For a reaction, here one reaction is given. What is that reaction? Of A is giving rise to 2B. This is the reaction. For a reaction, rate of disappearance of A is related to the rate of appearance of B in the following expression. So here we have to write the rate of disappearance of A in terms of rate of disappearance of B. What is meant by appearance and disappearance? I told you during a chemical reaction, the reactants will be disappearing and the products will be forming. Now what is the connection here? I will write the rate in terms of A and B. What is the rate in terms of A? Rate is equals to, I told you that we use a negative sign for reactants, dA by dt, but here 1 by 2 is the coefficient. We have to reciprocate it. 1 by 1 by 2 means it will become 2. 1 by 1 by 2, that is 2. So that minus 2 into dA by dt with respect to A, that is equals to, what is the rate with respect to B? So it is a plus sign because it's a product. I told you that we have to reciprocate, invert this coefficient. That will become 1 by 2 into dB by dt. So this is the expression. But here you can ignore the negative sign while writing the rate of disappearance and appearance. Even you can keep it. But what is asked here? This term, what is the rate of disappearance of A in terms of B? So we have to find this term. So for that we have to transpose this here. That means dA divided by dt is equals to minus 1 by 4. If 2 comes here, it will become minus 4 into dP by dt. So this is the rate of disappearance of A in terms of rate of appearance of B. It is minus 1 by 4 times to B here. So but here I told you that this negative sign is only for our understanding. So that in the options only the negative sign indicates the decrease here, but here this is the relation here. 1 by 4 times of the appearance of B. Now let us move to the, so please keep that negative sign and positive sign indicate only the decrease and increase in this reaction. The decrease and the increase of the concentrations of the reactants will be indicated by the negative signs in the rate law. So that here finally the rate is always positive. Appearance is positive and disappearance is also positive. Appearance means it is increases. Disappearance means reactant disappears. So that we put a negative sign. So there is no any other meaning for that negative sign. Now let us go for the next reaction. For a reaction, A plus B is giving rise to product. A plus B is giving rise to product. For a reaction, A plus B is giving rise to product. It is observed that the doubling the concentration of A, doubling the concentration of B causes the rate of reaction to increase by 4 times. That means let us write the rate for this. Rate is equals to K into A power X into B power Y. This is rate, first rate, or rate 1, you can say R1. Now what they did, they are doubling the concentration of the B and rate is increased by 4 times. That means here if this is R, they are doubling the concentration of A. If we double the concentration of A, what it is 2A whole power X it will become. And what they did, the concentration of the doubling the concentration of the B causes the reaction rate to increase by, here doubling the concentration of B, not A. So that means do to B, and it increases the rate of reaction by 4 times. Already it is R. By doubling the concentration of B, it is given that it is 4R. So please try to understand that they did not change the concentration of A, only they have changed the concentration of B. They doubled the concentration. and the reaction is rate is increased by 4 times. Earlier it was R, now it has become 4R. But doubling the concentration of A has no effect on the rate of the reaction. So that means here rate of the reaction is not affecting by the doubling the concentration. Even if you increase the concentration, there is no change in the reaction. Now what they had given, that means here rate, if you take the rate, if you divide both of them, you can easily find here. So the rate is not depending on the concentration of A. So rate is only depending upon the concentration of the B. That means you can write rate is equals to K into A power 0. But if you are doubling the concentration of B, that means it is if you double it, the rate will also be doubling. You can simplify it, take it as 2 and take it as 1. So the concentration of A has no effect. So that here I am dividing both the equations. What I get, 4R by R is equals to, so K into A power X into 2B whole power Y divided by, look here, just what I have done here, 4R by R is equals to K into, K is rate constant here, K into, so here what is the first one, this is 4R and this one is K into A power X into B power Y. But by changing the concentration of A, it is given that there is no change at all. That means concentration, order with respect to A is 0. So here what is cancelled? K gets cancelled, R is cancelled here, and what we will get here, 2 is equals to, this is here also we can write it as a 2 power Y into B power Y divided by concentration of B power Y. It is also cancelled. So with respect to Y, the order is equals to, because here bases are equal, bases are equal, so exponents are equal, so Y will is 1. So what you can say here, X with respect to X is 0 because it is not depending on the concentration of A, and Y is equals to 1. So what is the rate law now? Rate is equals to K into A power 0 and B power 1. So what is the correct option here? So second option, rate is equals to K into A power 0 and B power. So it is 2 here, not 2 power 1. 2, that means Y is equals to 2 here. Please check here, it is not 2 power 1 because 4. So it is Y is equals to 2 now. So Y is equals to 2 means what will be the reaction here? A power 0 and B power 2. So the overall order will be 3. So please remember that here 4 means 2 square, not 2 power 1. So in this way, we can solve some problems. We'll meet in the next class. Thank you.